ranking all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies from worst to best. It's important to note that outside of my top 5, I really don't care too much about this franchise, to be honest. Love Freddy Krueger, don't love a lot of his movies. Sorry, not sorry. At the very bottom, I got the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. This shit was disrespectful to the franchise. Sorry, not sorry. And the crazy thing about it is this movie actually has redeeming qualities if you look at it as its own film. But in comparison to what Freddy established, hard pass, bro. Right after that, man, I got Freddy's Dead. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. This movie was absolutely abysmal to me. I feel like only hardcore Nightmare fans like this movie for real. At this point, the franchise was just milked to an unreturnable point. Hard pass, didn't like it. Next, I got The Dream Child. Once again, bro, I really just don't like this movie. However, I did like it better than Freddy's Dead. Next, I got Dream Master, a movie that I don't like, but I also don't really hate it either. It's one of those movies that you kind of just throw in the background and let it watch you. It wasn't absolute dog shit like Freddy's Dead and the other one, but it still really wasn't my thing, bro. Now we're getting into the movies that I actually fuck with. Let's get into it. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, one of the most underrated and slept on movies, not just in the Freddy franchise, but in horror movies, period. They didn't want to just copy and paste the first one. Fun fact about Nightmare 2 is that the director didn't even really like the first one. That's why he actively tried to make this one so different. And even though it didn't land for a lot of people, if you really look at the movie, it was actually pretty decent. Say what you want about Nightmare 2, but me personally, I kind of fuck with it. Next, man, I got the movie that a lot of people say is the best in the franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. This is how you make a sequel. Okay, we started adding some fantasy elements to Freddy. We got to see more of the dream world. Most importantly, the black dude survived. Gotta fuck with that, man. Dream Warriors, definitely, you get a pass from me. Next, man, I got New Nightmare. If it wasn't for this movie, we would have never got Scream, because this movie was the definition of meta. In this movie, we didn't deal with the characters that the actors played. We were actually dealing with the actors as if they were dealing with Freddy in real life. And them spending so much time with these movies basically manifested Freddy in real life. That shit is hard. I don't care. That shit was dope, bro. New Nightmare, you definitely get a pass from me. Next, man, I got Freddy vs. Jason. Again, whether it's canon or not, I really don't give a damn. Freddy's in it, so it's going on the fucking list. Freddy vs. Jason goes hard, point blank, period. There's nothing else that I really have to say about this movie. Y'all already know what's going on. Freddy vs. Jason is a true fucking classic. And of course, at number 1, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, hands down one of the best 80s horror movies of all time. I really hate that they shifted away from the serious tone of the first two. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, is genuinely a fantastic horror film. All right, y'all, that's my ranking of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. If y'all agree with my ranking, then I rock with you. If you don't agree, really don't give a fuck. Like I always say, man, y'all stay spooky.